if I can ask you a question, you've been down there now for a few moments. Do you get the sense that this protest, which started out as a protest against the verdict, has taken on its own life, its own character? Is it a protest now, or is it just people taking advantage of the situation? Can you tell?
Paul, I'd probably say it's a little bit of both. Some people probably don't, realize. Some of these little kids probably don't even realize maybe what's going on out here. I see a lot of little kids, a lot of 4- or 5-year-olds, just out here having a good time. It's actually something that they're just taking part of because everyone else is doing it. Still others very, very upset about the verdict yesterday.
Yeah, we're looking at overhead pictures of you as well, of the scene where you are down on the ground. Mark, let me just ask you something. You have done in-depth investigations looking into the Watts riots of 1965. How does it feel now to have looked extensively into that situation and now to be there right in the middle of this situation? Can you compare it?
I remember the story I did about 1.5 years ago, and I talked to a lot of people, and there were a lot of people who said this was eventually going to happen one day soon. You consider Latasha Harlan's case and the verdict that came down yesterday. This doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise a lot of people also. The tension, the anger, very hostile down here on behalf of a lot of residents and a lot of the people taking part in the activities. The thing that's different, of course, back in 1965, they had rocks and Coke bottles. Now they have semi-automatic weapons and Uzis and AK-47s. We're on Western Avenue between Venice Boulevard and 18th Street. This continues to be a hot spot in more ways than one. Let me set the scene here. Take a look. We have a shopping center on two sides of the street. On one corner, we have a Save-On Drugs. It is burning. The roof is just burning. The strategy apparently for police and firefighters is to just let it burn, almost something as a controlled burn. I guess when the flames start shooting a little bit higher, they'll move in to try to extinguish it. Come on down the mall, and we have a Viva supermarket. Supermarket personnel putting on the finishing touches and trying to board up some cracked windows in an effort to salvage and save what's left of that store. We'll cross the street here on Western Boulevard and take a look at a McDonald's restaurant. The McDonald's restaurant at this intersection is about the only establishment that has yet to be vandalized. If we can go to some videotape of some looting that we just filmed, videotape just about 5 minutes ago, you can take a look at what is going on here. This is people moving in one of the malls here, going inside a beauty supply store, just going in unopposed, almost defenseless, breaking windows. There are gentlemen risking injury to get inside a store, and police are just sitting here watching it. We have probably 45 officers in full riot gear, armed in shotguns, 9mm weapons, nightsticks, but they are for some reason outmanned and defenseless in an effort to slow down what's going on here on the corner of Venice Boulevard and Western Avenue.
Mark, I noticed in some of the video that we're showing now that you were able to actually talk to some of these people while they were looting. What do they say? Are they saying anything?
Paul, somewhat of a festive atmosphere here. This isn't any zoom lens we're using. We are right on top of them. They are virtually unabated. They feel no harm. They're laughing as they're coming out of the store. They're saying, I got some shoes. This is for not convicting those 4 officers. I'm getting my taxpayers' money back. I got some diapers for my baby. I got some lipstick. We saw one Payless shoe store that was completely gutted, just ravaged. Every shoe almost gone in the whole building. And this is their way of, I guess, paying back or getting back at what they didn't get yesterday.
We have heard from President Bush this morning, Daryl Gates, Mayor Tom Bradley, a lot of leaders locally and on the federal level pleading for peace and a stop to this. Do you think that this is getting down to those people out there?
It's probably a very loud message that the state and local and federal officials are trying to make, but it's not being heard on this corner of Western and Venice.
Mark, what a bizarre sight we're seeing. Police officers on one side of the street, looters walking by them on the other. Clearly, police are making assessments at the scene as to whether or not they can control it, and if they decide they don't have enough people and they're not going to be able to, that things might get out of control. They're just going to stand. I mean, they really have no choice, do they?
Yeah, it makes you wonder what their strategy is here. We see an officer having a Coca-Cola, one officer leaning on a police squad car. They're just watching it go on. Maybe they're going to declare this a total loss and wait till everything's looted, and that will eventually scare off all the people who are coming here to try to pillage some of the stores. But we've definitely seen what you could consider breaking the law. There is probable cause for police officers to move in to try to arrest some of the vandals, but as you can see, they're just watching it happen.
If we start affecting arrests, it's going to affect our manpower, and we really do not have the manpower right now to make arrests.
So, Sergeant, you're almost in a catch-22 situation here. How frustrating is this for you as an officer, signed to uphold the law, to protect and serve, and have to watch this vandalism go on right in front of us?
You know, I never thought I'd see anything like this, but it really is. It's pretty sickening, and it's frustrating for us. And I want to commend all my officers that are here because they're showing great restraint in not acting individually, and thereby making the scene even worse. They're showing a lot of control. We've been taking a couple of rocks here, but you know, right now the crowd is, I think once they get done looting, then maybe they'll leave.
How many men do you have on the scene, Sergeant Montgomery, and realistically, what type of manpower would it take to finally bring the situation under control?
Well, you're talking about a few things. Number one is we need to secure this whole area. That means probably stop the traffic from coming in. We don't have enough people to do that. I would essentially say we probably need about 200 to 300 officers out here right now. For the amount of people that we have here, there's probably about 300 to 400 people. I would imagine if we started making some type of mass arrest, that would probably get rid of half the crowd, but right now we don't have enough people.
Sergeant, have you called for backup? Have you called for reinforcement on this location?
Yes, and what you see, when I got here, there was only 10 of us, and we've finally gotten some more, but unfortunately this isn't the only place that things are happening, and that's what people really need to understand, is that if we'd love to be able to stay here and protect, the property of these business owners, but however, there's probably somebody on the other side of town that probably needs the police for something that's totally unrelated, and right now we're unable to help them, and that's what we'd really like to do. I mean, property is important, however it is replaceable. Lives are not replaceable.
Pat, we're in West L.A., just adjacent to Beverly Hills, and this is an example of that uncivilization DA Ira Reiner just talked about. About 100 yards long, a building that used to be known as the La Cienega Square, tonight a total loss. About 21 shops and various stores all perished in the blaze. Flames still burning pretty heavily inside the structure. 2 or 3 firefighters remain on the scene. We have some pictures we took about 30 minutes ago. There weren't enough firefighters here to actually help with the blaze, so we captured some of the local residents and some of the merchants here who helped the firefighters try to put the blaze out. Joining me now is a man by the name of Aaron Hung. Aaron, you manage the Radio Shack store.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Well, I left here about 2:30, 3 o'clock. Everything was quite quiet. But then again, I saw some people drive by checking things out. But anyway, I left, and I watched the news about 8:30, and I found my store was on fire, and there's not much left now.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much, and good luck on whatever you gentlemen decide to do. Joining me now, Avi, you built this structure 3 or 4 years ago. You said this was your, like a labor of love. Tonight you watch it all go up in flames.
Yes, it's absolutely true. That building has been gone through a complete renovations approximately 4 years ago with really labor of love. Lots of architectural work, lots of thorough job over here, and right now it's destroyed completely.
Do you have any idea why you were singled out throughout the community of Beverly Hills as, I guess, an innocent victim to all this?
Not really. There's no reason for. This morning I passed by over here at 7 o'clock, between 7 to 8, and I saw some shattered windows. I thought that's the end of the story, but right now I see more than that.
Jerry, we're in the heart of Koreatown. Here, a Korean restaurant. The window bashed right here. Again, someone come through the burglar bars. Looted shelves, took some food. The cash register is busted open. Even the plant is knocked over. There was a stereo over here. That's gone.